Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about some basics of angles. So before we even get into angles, we need to talk about what a ray is. A ray has an endpoint, A, and then it extends forever in one direction. So here's a line segment, AB, but I'm going to extend, this is one continuous line, I'm going to extend it in one direction. So this is called ray AB. So just like a line segment and a line, I want to use two capital letters to name a ray, and then I'm going to draw a ray over it. Here are some examples of how not to name this ray. AB with a ray, don't do that. Oh, that kind of looks like I'm pointing to it. BA, this way, doesn't work. We want to always make sure that the endpoint is what's coming first and where the extension is coming second. AB with just two capital letters, don't want that. I want to use the line or the ray above it to talk about the actual shape of it, or the actual object rather. That might be it. BA there, not true because B is not the endpoint, A is the endpoint. So I'm going to erase these. Those are the ones not to write. So ray AB, when we connect two rays, so if I have a ray here and a ray here, so we'll call this ray CD and ray CE, two capital letters, and I'm drawing the ray above it. C is the endpoint. The vertex is point C. So the vertex of an angle is where the two sides meet, where the two rays meet. So the shared point of the rays. To name this angle, I want to name it angle C, one letter, one capital letter, or I can name it angle DCE, three capital letters with C, the middle letter being the vertex, or I can name this angle ECD. C is the vertex, C is the middle, ECD. I do not want to name this angle D. I don't want to name it angle E. I don't want to name it DEC. I don't want to name it CDE, etc., etc. C, if I'm using one letter because that's the vertex, I can't use two letters to name an angle, but I can use one or three. As long as the vertex is always the center, the main character of the angle. All right, so an acute angle is an angle that measures, so the measure of the angle, I'll call it A, has to be between 0 and 90 degrees, not including. So you don't want an angle equal to 0 degrees, and you don't want an angle equal to 90 to call it acute. Here's an example of an acute angle. This kind of looks like it could be 45 degrees-ish, maybe 40, maybe 50, somewhere in between 0 and 90. Angle A. A right angle, we'll call this the measure of angle B. And I want to use little m to represent measure. The measure of angle B is equal to 90. A 90-degree angle has to be equal to, or a right angle has to be equal to 90 degrees. So here's angle B. And you'll usually see a little box in there for a right angle. An obtuse angle is where we have anything from 90 to 180 degrees, non-inclusive of 90 and 180. So it could be, I'm not including 91 and 179 because it could be 90.1 degrees or 179.9. It could be really close to 90 and 180, but just not including those. So here's an example of what an obtuse angle might look like. I've got rays as the sides, angle C, vertex C there, maybe 120 degrees here. And then a straight angle, the measure of angle D, is equal to 180 degrees. That is a line, essentially. So a straight angle just like that, 180, which is what a line is equal to.